Hello and welcome to Limawi. Today we were supposed to continue developing the Vault cluster, but first I have to set some parameters, some settings on my DNS to improve them, because the Vault nodes cannot communicate correctly together using the custom DNS I made because of some systemd resolved shenanigans. So first, I'm currently rebuilding the environments, the virtual machines, because I wanted to test something purely IPv6 even for APT, and APT is not yet really stable in IPv6, so I wrote back. And meanwhile, I want to improve my configuration for the resolved.conf, because I want to have something that is internal DNS for internal domains, external DNS for the rest. Basically, that's the idea. So, let's try to find something. Yeah, I think I would have to create the resolved.conf.d configuration. Let's that's not what I want. Actually, I want a directory. Up and inside internal and the cloud. No, private. Okay. We copy the resolve, we passed, and here Kubernetes service DNS private DNS private. I should put that here instead. Okay. And for the domain, we need only the root, and normally the subdomains are taken over. I hope. Does it accept a list? I think it accepts a list. So in that case, we don't need anything anymore. We just now can use these. We need first to put it in the correct directory. So for that, we have to add it item.conf. Okay. So I need to add it here as a template. Resolved.conf.d/private. Okay. So it should be put in the correct directory. And then I have to take these three variables. Set their defaults, which are basically empty everywhere. DNS private, DNS private. Okay. And now we set them in, where is it? In the playbooks. Okay, here. So instead of having these full of DNS configuration, what we'll do is that this one we won't use it. We will keep it to defaults. But these two there that are our internal DNS, we put them here, and they have to take care of our root DNS, DN. Here, there. Okay. That's for Vault. For Bind9, we do the same. And now we should normally have a working configuration. As you can see, we still have two IPv4 DNS here. That's due to the fact that some services we still use are not reachable through IPv6 correctly yet. But once the kube cluster is up, the next stage would be to deploy GitLab on it and to have our dev factory ready on it. And that means that through this dev factory, we'll be able to set repositories, registries for these external dependencies locally. So for our infrastructure, our platform will be that way able to manage these dependencies through a pure IPv6 network. Because basically we'll use a cache from the registries and repositories that can communicate in IPv6. Okay, so I hope it will work now, because the next step would be first to try to improve my lighting, because the light, as you can see, the green screen is really present. I don't know why today specifically. Because it's winter, there are less light, but I should maybe reinstall the lights I used to use. Okay. So, as you can see, once the DNS settings in systemd resolved will be in place, because we use systemd resolved, we will have everything here. For the DNS domain general, we will have only this one actually that will replace here this one, plus the IPv4 ones. And for the DNS domain of undercloud.open.test, I'm not sure yet how it will be set. We'll see. And then we will be able to go back to Vault. On Vault itself, I hope that normally it's only a matter of domain resolution, and that afterwards the cluster will be able to quorum. And then the next phase, once we have the quorum, is to unseal the vault. And we have two ways. We have one way through an external service, and in our case it means another vault, and one way through a secret share of Shamir for the root vault. And we will first test the secret share of Shamir, because we will need it to test the other way, because once the secret share of Shamir 1 is opened, is unsealed, it will be used as a service for the other one. So in terms of code, you can see the configuration here. So first we enhance the Linux security, then we create a WARA mesh, then we install Podman on the satellite, so every VM that is not Cube. Then we start the bind9 service, so the service that will provide the DNS. And then we start Vault with the secret share of Shamir, of the service. And then we start Vault with the other Vault as in sealer. And as you can see, we reuse the same playbook. So this one, because we soft-coded Vault nodes and var files. By the way, as we have a bit of time, because we are building the VM, I will also soft code something else. Wait, let me see if maybe it's better to set it here. There. Prefix for all Cube Play resources. And the default one is DNS server. So we will use this one. So that way, we will be able to install multiple instances of a same cube file because we will use different prefix for each of them. So we need first to softcode here, and then we need also to softcode the call here. As you can see, up, in here, because we will put the prefix everywhere. Okay, let's put first the prefix here. Ah, shit. There. Okay. Then let's handle it here. Okay. I must also add DNS persistent volumes. I should also prefix them. What's the prefix? DNS server. Okay. Okay. I'm not sure that works. Perhaps. Okay. We have the persistent volumes. Okay. And then we need to softcode everywhere here. And we have to do the same for Vault. Okay, I think it's set everywhere. Okay. Then we will do the same thing for Vault. So we need a prefix which is a Coupent Vault server. Okay. Then for the handlers, we change that up. 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 Okay. For the stateful sets, so this one we don't care because we use Raft. Okay. 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 We need to change it here. Okay. And we need to change it everywhere in the manifest. So you see, even if we are stuck somewhere, the project is so vast that we have always something to do elsewhere. Good. So this part should be done. For the environment, we started to create the test VM, the base test VM, and not the provisioner. Oh, wait. Oh, it's actually better if I talk here. I think I should change the microphone someday. Okay. And if I remove that, can I hear myself better? Yes. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, but every time I breathe, it's a storm. So let's stick to that. So now we have to wait for this dev VM to come back. I am not even sure that what I did here would work. The domain blocker is this definition here. I hope that normally Podman, the containers inside Podman will be able to get correctly these different definitions, which was not the case before. I hope. Okay, let's deploy. It will take, it's the first deploy, so I think the first will take roughly 10 to 15 minutes. And normally afterwards the idempotence is 5-6 minutes because my VMs are really scarce in resources because they only have 2 CPUs each and 1 gig of memory each. So everything should run on very scarce resources, but of course everything is slower. Let's check again this etc resolved conf directory. Yeah, I'm not even sure that what I said would work. I mean, I expect that that should work, but I'm not sure. Yeah, maybe I should also rename this one in 99, this one, because that way I'm sure it will be resolved last position, and so it will precede all the others. Maybe 98. That way, if someone wants to change something, they still have the place to change it. Should I name the resolve differently? I don't know. Mm-hmm. Um. Mm-hmm. Actually, I understand better. It's really per link, so. So my stuff will certainly not work. So, what can I do? Hmm. I think I should put everything anyway in the main server, in the main config. Problem is that it's tied to an interface, and I don't want that. Mhm. Mm. And in any way, it requires these small. What's happening there? Up these small tilde here. Okay. Actually, no, we don't need it because it's a search path. So I will see how it works without the network interfaces. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, with the tilt or without, there is a discussion. Let's go with the tilt. Ah, you need to tie this config to an interface, okay? But interface does not need to exist for the service to be active. Uh-huh. Okay. So let's change that. System D, network D, service. Okay, so I need to create a network directory. It's etc systemd network, okay. So I simply rename network, okay, and then it will be the private conf, but private network now. Okay, network. And inside this private network, I will do my network configuration, which is domains here. It's a join by space. Okay. The DNS is that way. Okay, and the interface will be open service DNS private interface, and we will use WireGuard for examples. And the whole rest seems pretty similar. So, up. Okay. So I don't need the fallback domains, but I need the interface. So no fallback domain, but the interface. Okay. Perfect. And then I need to alter the templates here and put network. Oh. Hey, it doesn't finish by conf, but by network. So, hop là. Network. Hop là. Ok. Ok. Sorry, I'm not emitting any correct sentence because I'm thinking. Actually, does it need to restart? Not even sure. Do we need to reload the network? Where is WireGuard? What do we do in WireGuard? Do we reload? We reload the WireGuard devices. Okay. But not the network. So let's test that. Systemctl reload. Okay, systemd network D service. So we notify. Perfect. Resolve.conf does not exist. Yeah, that's normal. Let's redeploy. Let's see. Resolved d.conf. Okay, that's due to the fact that I didn't reload the change. Let's do that. Okay. Seems to run. I don't know for how long, but currently it seems. cool to see. Okay. Last VM. Ah, shit, does it work? Upgrade the system. I mean, it did it for the first node, so yeah, it should do it for everything. Maybe it's very slow. Yeah, it's very slow. Something that will be improved greatly the day we have our own repositories. Hello Niliam. Hello Girab26. Master Ansible and the YML. How did you learn DevOps? That's a very good question. Actually, I didn't really learn DevOps. I had some problems and I grew up some techniques 8 years ago, and I discovered afterwards, so 9 years ago now, I discovered afterwards that these kind of techniques and concepts and so on were called DevOps. So once I discovered that, I learned a lot of about DevOps by doing, by imagining stuff, and by being confronted to these problems. Because I come from an IT security background and more software level background, but I was also deep into sysadmin, system and infrastructure layers problems. And as you may know, DevOps is the idea that these two fields should talk together, talk to each other. And as I was a foot in each field, for me it was an evidence. So I learned by doing. Because as I was in these two fields, I saw the problems right away between these fields. So yeah. And I do that for 9 years now. And I'm not really retiring yet. Does that answer your question? So, enable to start service WireGuard quick. Okay, why? Totally, okay. So, I'm currently developing a kube cluster that can work in an air-gap environment with only open source technologies. It's based on a WireGuard mesh. It has some satellites like DNS server, a Vault cluster, and etcd. Okay. And currently I'm working on a DNS system because I want to have a DNS with a public part and a private part. And that's needed for Vault because Vault needs to be able to ping internally without leaking to the outside world. And what's happening there? Permission. Yes. Permission denied, of course, because it broke in the middle. So. What can I do? Handlers. Let's reload sysctl. Let's hope the correct files are there. Yes, they are. Let's restart the service. And it works. Perfect. So let's redeploy again. So yeah, basically what I'm currently doing is that I want to have my host that listen on two different lists of DNS. One that is public. So I use the ones from DNS Watch for that. And one that is private, the ones that I built that will serve the internal domains. And for that, I use a trick of systemd, which is basically to add these private DNS on a network interface. And we will use the one from WireGuard for that. And normally, it should be able to ping separately everything with the public except the ones that are subdomains of these domain. That's the idea. So if that works, when that will work, then I will be able to create the quorum of Vault servers, to create the cluster of Vault servers. And I will do a chained trust between two Vault clusters, one that will be unsealed with a secret share of Shamir, and the other that will be automatically unsealed by the first one. Once Vault is done, I generate a bunch of secrets with it. And I generate TLS certs, for instance, that I will use to deploy an etcd cluster. etcd being the memory of Kubernetes. So 5 nodes in production, 3 in our case because we are currently developing the stuff. And once etcd is ready, I unrust the BGP implementation I did, and then we deploy Kube. So why is it slow? That's due to the fact that I deploy all that from generic Ubuntu machines. Because the idea is that I want to have these cube agnostic of the underlying infrastructure. And I want to be able to deploy it on any infrastructure possible. And the most used Linux distro in the world is Ubuntu. So I developed first for Ubuntu. And then once we have first infrastructure, the next step will be to create golden images of Fedora, CoreOS, or Flatcar Linux, and to be able to deploy this kube system, this kube cluster, on Flatcar Linux. So that way it will be far more efficient, because it will be only 2 or 3 commands in Ansible, and the rest will be just to download the golden images. Okay, we reload the WireGuide devices. Everything seems to work. Now we install the Podman package, because we deploy our stuff with Podman Playcube. slow. But everything seems to run. All the machines seems to run. We are currently deploying Podman. Once Podman is deployed, normally it's quicker. As you can see, my beautiful green screen is working, but the problem is that in winter we have less light, so I will have to put my big lights up. Ah, okay. Temporary failure in names resolutions. Okay, let's see if we have our resolve status. So on WireGuard 0 we have that, and on global, actually on global it's not the ones that are supposed to be, because it's the VM that failed, this one. Let's see one that succeeded. Resolve CTL status. Okay, that sounds nice. So we have the DNS server that I configured, the IPv6 and IPv4 ones from Resolve from DNS Watch, and on the link 5, so WireGuard 0, we have the DNS domain for undercloud.component.test DNS servers here for it. So I hope it works. But for that, I need to deploy these DNS servers. It is slow today. Slower than usual. Yeah, the PPR are slow. And 6 VM, it's far less quick than with 3. Because it's the same hardware. I mean, it's my computer behind. So, yeah. So I told you at the beginning of the stream, it will be an empty stream. It's an empty stream. I'm not even sure I can call it Vault because it's more DNS again. The PPA are slow. So, seeing these magnificence of slowliness, I would consider that we can stop here. And the next stream will be next week, 3 p.m. And hopefully next week we will be able to go back to the quorum of Vault, the thing I tried to reach today. So, seeing that, yes, this green screen is absolutely beautiful. Actually, it doesn't work anymore. But is it active? Not even sure. Yeah, no, it is because it's white in the middle, so yeah, it's active. Okay, so see you and next week, and we will try next week to do this quorum with finally the Vault nodes being able to ping each other through domains. So the VOD, tschüss.